Should we start seated?
Sure.
Welcome back to your practice. Thanks for joining our practice. So, my name's Sammy. I'm from Sammy's Yoga Sesh. Website's coming soon. Got links on Facebook, and we're putting them on Facebook. I'm through YouTube right now, so what we're going to do today is we're going to interact with each other just a little bit more and kind of let this thing evolve itself. And I'm really feeling kind of tight in my hips and hamstrings today.
It was probably from the poses you had us do yesterday.
So maybe yesterday we lit up the hamstrings and glutes and low back. So today we're just going to do a nice short breath work, get a little bit of movement. We'll try to keep this one about 30 minutes hopefully. Yesterday we did an hour and it felt like 10 minutes. So this is Crystal with Twisted Bliss Holistic Health, and we're going to bounce off of each other today and just have a little bit of fun. So just find yourself seated, get in a comfortable seated position. Maybe remove a little of that rump, get those hip bones down on the ground, sitting tall, finding your breath. Every day is different, every day brings you something new. I came into this one with a little bit of attitude flare-up, so finding my breath and
just what you need to do.
Getting into our space is perfect. So I'm just gonna wake up here. I'm just gonna breathe and start to kind of roll my shoulders. You want to put your hands on your knees, take some clockwise twist. We'll unwind, we'll bring everything out of us with a counterclockwise twist first. We don't really know all that this can do for us, but we do know counterclockwise is the unwinding of, right? And so we're going to unwind some things inside of us that we don't need.
I really like the idea of moving and finding the rhythm with your breath. So sometimes we can get into postures and we seem to think, or I do sometimes, that we need to hold it perfectly or look a certain way. But today I encourage you to let it go and just let yourself flow and find some rhythmic posture and movement in what you're doing. So if there's something in it and you're holding it and it feels just a little too structured, allow yourself to breathe into it and let your body flow and see where it takes you.
And as we're sitting here finding our breath, getting some movement, switch those circles to clockwise. Now we're bringing in new energy.
I had to think about which way's clockwise every time.
Positive energy. And what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna kick my legs out in front of me just to find that space, and I'm gonna bring them back in to what we call a butterfly. Put the bottoms of your feet together, however that looks. It can be out in front of you. You can get them in tight. And we're not striving for one position, one pose, or one feeling. There's not somewhere you're gonna get within a pose or a breath. It's gonna be that light switch for you. So just enjoy the breath, enjoy the movement. Find a little space, and that groin is kind of what we call it around here. Find the space in those inner hips. We're just warming up, just breathing, nothing too crazy.
I would get so tight in the hips, so this feels so good to open it up. And you probably don't want to put a lot of pressure, but you can even add those elbows as you pull onto the ankles and just kind of press in just slightly. I like to add a little bit of movement with my neck. Again, you want to be cautious and listen to the body, but if you find a little bit of flow, if it feels good to come up and take a breath and then exhale, leaning back in. Do what works for your body.
You might find yourself needing to scoot back on your mat. So we're gonna do a seated tree, so left leg out, toes to the sky. You can bring that right leg in, and you can put that palm or that right foot on that left inside of your calf muscle. Maybe it's just above the knee, or maybe you get it all the way up, wherever that is comfortable and feels good to you. Once you kind of find that position, this is where you want to get that breath. You don't have to bring the arms up what you can, but this is where you hinge at the hips and come into it. And with my leg out on the bottom side, I'm getting a pretty good stretch, feeling into the calf, into the hamstring. You could hold that or you can move with your breath. Every time we exhale, if we can just find 1% more of space to move that breath into. Just maintain that breath.
This is where I like to relax the face, relax the jaw. As you exhale, and just visualize melting deeper.
That next inhale, you can bring yourself up. If you need to have both legs out, give both legs a little attention.
And we'll shake.
Bring that left foot in on the inside of that right leg where it feels good to you. And I'm bad about crawling into something and then just rolling into it. So my natural reset, sitting tall, pulling that navel to the spine. And there again, I kind of like to bring my arms up with the breath. And then on my exhale, hinge at the hips.
I had a little twist over to the side whenever I hinge, just to get that alignment, and then hinge. I feel like that feels nice on the hips for me as well.
Checking in with your body, checking in with the spine. We like to keep the spine alive. It's where everything moves to. I'm gonna come back myself into this butterfly. Find my tall seated position. And when I go arms up on my breath, give a little twist to the left. Be gentle. So we're just creating space with the breath. There again, you can hold it and maintain the breath, or if you want to ease out of it on the inhale, and then sink back into it on the exhale. Just got my first minor little snap, crackle, pop for the day, so that's always a bonus. We're not trying to pop our back. We're not trying to put too much tension into a twist. We just want our body to feel where today's edge is. This is my edge today. One more time. Relax back to center. Big breath in. Arms up. Little twist to the right.
I'm doing a little different, but I switched my legs here. I'll join you. It's amazing how this feels different on one side versus the other. I always visualize wringing my spine out like a dishcloth, making space. gonna take us onto our backs. So when you're ready, we're gonna slowly roll down, feeling supported by the earth. Oh, I just got a nice pop in my spine. And when you're ready, we're gonna bring knees into the chest. Hands can find the tops of the knees. Breathing into this energy, noticing how the body feels. Option to point the toes, flex the feet, maybe you can roll your ankles out. And squeezing the knees into the chest, we can give a little bit of a rock from side to side. And notice how this feels if you press the tailbone toward the mat. Adding that movement, if we want to take the knees, making a large circle. Going slow and mindful. And then we'll stop and take them the opposite direction. Meeting back in center. We're going to extend the legs straight up as if we're standing on the ceiling with our feet. Working to bring the toes toward the shins. Again, you can roll the ankles out. Arms can be on the back of the thighs, or maybe they find the mat near the hips. And this is our waterfall. Sometimes I do this as a legs up the wall, so you can have the wall behind you and have a little bit more support here. Connecting with the breath. Again, we encourage you to move however your body feels it needs to today. If you want to join me, I'm going to grab my left thigh, wrapping my hands around the thigh, and then slow and steady lower the right leg down. Slow as we can until it finds the mat. We can leave the right leg straight, or we can bend the knee, planting the foot on the mat. And then we're going to work to bring the left knee toward the chest. Maybe that left hand finds the knee. And we're going to work to bring the knee toward the armpit, just opening that hip slightly. Maybe this is enough for us. If you'd like, we can take the left hand inside the knee, and we're going to reach to the outer side of the foot. So we're in a half happy baby.
I wanted to get to the whole happy baby, so I'm glad we're on our way.
Perfect. So breathing into this. Notice on each exhale, the hip opens just a little more. Relaxing face. Breathing into the hip. And on your exhale, we're going to lower the foot, bringing both knees back into the chest. Nice squeeze here. And then lengthen the legs back up. Finding our waterfall. Our hands are going to lace behind the right thigh. Slow and steady, we're going to lower left leg down. Moving with intention. Notice what muscles it takes to move our body this way. Again, maybe the left leg stays straight, or we can bend that knee, planting the foot in the mat gives us a little more support. And if we're not feeling the flexibility, then sometimes that can help. When you're ready, you're gonna bend the right knee toward the chest. And then opening up that hip, we're gonna draw the knee toward the right armpit. And maybe we stay here, or bringing that arm inside the right knee, we're gonna reach up and grab the pinky side toe of the foot, allowing the hip to open. Nice intentional breath. One more breath here. And on your exhale, we're gonna bend that knee, dropping the foot. Both knees come back into the chest. We'll straighten both legs. I'll let you take us into the full happy baby.
Okay, so find your breath in your waterfall. Breath in your waterfall. Roll those ankles out. Roll those ankles out. You can ease down. Sometimes I like to grab the inside of my big toe, pressing the elbows against the knees. You can grab on that outside edge as well. But this is happy baby, so if we've all seen a happy baby, enjoy being a happy baby today. You can press out and really get into the bottom side of that groin. Remember, we're not pushing anywhere to feel any certain thing. We're just moving to the edge of our breath.
I like to add the movement, a little bit of sway, rocking left to right. And like Sam says, we can find that edge of maybe just when we feel like we're going to topple over, and then pull ourselves back.
All right, on your next exhale, when you find your next natural exhale, bring those knees back to your chest. Check back in where we started. My hip flexors are already feeling better than they were. Get it side to side. Feel where we were to where we are. Find your way back to a seated position. Get a little shake out. Feel the knees. So then what we can do, we're going to find our way to a tabletop. Just tuck those knees. Hands underneath your shoulders, fingers spread wide.
Curious as to where we're going.
We're going to sink back into a little child's pose and kind of feel the front of those hips to the back of those hips. Move with breath. Bring it up on an inhale. Exhale into a cow. Inhale into a cat. Feeling that tailbone pulling into the earth. Belly button's against the spine. Inhale back to a cow. All right, tuck the toes. Actually, if you want to sit back on your toes for a second,
Does that feel good?
maybe work those out just a little bit. And then from your knees, sending your hips high into the sky. A nice, slow, gentle down dog. Walk it out. Now we're shifting some energies. I can really feel this in my glutes.
I think I'm gonna take this from you and move us into a flow because I was really feeling that child's pose, but also with the movement.
Okay.
So before you take us anywhere else, I'm gonna have us inhale forward to plank. Exhale, lower to the knees, bring the sit bones back to the heels for our child's pose. Inhale, back to tabletop. Lift the hips high, downward facing dog. We're gonna do that 2 more times. Inhale, forward to plank. Exhale, lower to the knees, sitting back in our child's pose. Inhale, tabletop, upward, downward facing dog. Inhale, forward to plank. Exhale, lower to the knees, child's pose. Inhale, coming back up, downward facing dog. And then you continue on wherever you were going to take us.
That's perfect because now I'm going to take this on our next inhale. We're going to bring our left leg through to the middle of our hands, stepping. And then on the inhale, you can drop your right knee or you can keep your right knee up, but inhale. And we're going to come up to this beautiful pose. Oh. We're going to find a breath here. That third exhale, bring it back down. Take that left foot back to meet the right. We're in a nice down dog, walk that out. Roll forward, plank position. Drop to those knees. Rock back to that child's pose. Inhale it back to tabletop. Tuck those toes, send the hips high, downward facing dog. The next inhale, bring that right leg in between your hands. You can drop that left knee or you can keep it up. And you're going to inhale. Oh. This feels incredible. Find your breath. All right, bring those hands back. Bring that right foot back to the left. Down dog, walk this one out. Roll forward into that plank. Bring those knees. Rock back into that child's pose. Back to tabletop. I'd like to get us into the, I think it's like the low lunge where you really get juicy in your hamstring. I just don't know how to do it from here. We'll go to down dog. We'll bring that left foot forward. This time we're going to drop that right knee.
Walk the hands back.
Walk, yeah, there we go. All I know is I want to be right here. So if you get right here, we're in the same spot.
This is where it's really good. If you have blocks, you can come up on blocks, or you can just lift up if it's too much for you to lean over.
I'm going to stay here for a few rounds of breath because this is where I wanted to get all day. Move with your breath. Find that range of motion.
This is where, while Sam's breathing here, you can also walk the hands forward, bringing that knee over the ankle, pressing the hips forward, and then you get a really nice stretch on this hip flexor on the right side.
Nice.
And then as you exhale, just take it back, walk the hands back, peel those toes away from the mat, coming back to the hamstring on the left side. And then we'll do that one more time, walking the hands forward.
See, you can get a nice simple flow, big energy movement. It doesn't have to be super, super intense, but the feeling, the breath can be nice and intense.
Exhale, walk the hands back. You can even take those sit bones down, down, down.
Woo!
Hinging. And walking back up.
Now we switch.
So we're gonna plant the palms in the mat, flip the right toe, lift the right knee, slide the left foot back, wiggle out those hips. Then we're gonna come into the opposite side. I always like to lift my right leg high. As I bend the knee, then bring the knee forward, foot all the way through, dropping the left knee down. Let that top of the foot find the mat, and here we are. So we're in this hip flexor on the left side, and then as we walk the hands back, we're gonna peel the toes away from the mat. There it is.
Ah!
Connecting with the breath. Sometimes my shoulders went around, and I try to really push my shoulders open, heart forward, straighten the spine. This is again where the blocks are coming up, hands behind the thigh. And then exhale, walk the hands forward. Walking the hands back, feel the toes.
We were trying to keep this about 30 minutes, and we're so blessed we have 3 or 4 clocks we can look at, but not one of them is turning.
They tick and they're really loud.
I know, I get it, but
So I do outpatient therapy, and then if we're in a quiet room and it goes tick, tick, tick in 4 different directions, it's a lot. Walk the hands forward. Last one here. And exhale, walking the hands back, and this is where we're gonna take it. Lowest hip bone finds the heel. I have to allow this front leg to slide back with me. Ooh, Sam's gonna go for some split action.
I don't know what I'm going for. It's what my body feels like.
I've never been able to do the splits. Breathing. Coming close on our time.
Yeah, what do we have for a simple movement right here where we could bring everything we've just done into a simple 3-part movement, and that could be a flow to the end, so to speak. I got what I wanted.
I think for me, I'm still feeling like in my lower back, which is so connected to those hamstrings that we just released. So I'm gonna inhale to cactus arms. And as I exhale, I'm gonna bring my palms and elbows together. Inhale, open it up, really drawing the shoulder blades together, pressing the heart center forward. Exhale, bring elbows and palms together. This time we're gonna bring the elbows toward the belly button as we round the spine, tuck the chin. Inhale, we come up and open. Try to touch those elbows behind yourself. And then exhale, come together. Bringing elbows toward the belly button, tuck the chin. Inhale, we come up. Open up like a flower blooming. And we'll close one more time. Exhale, bring it all together, tucking it in, round the spine. Inhale, we lift up, and let's bring our hands together, heart center, and then we're gonna create a little bit of energy just to get us moving. We have a lot to do for the rest of the day. So I'd like us to rub our palms together as quickly and firmly as we can. So it's like we're generating heat. We're really working to warm up the palms. And we're going to take this into an energy ball and grow it, expand it, and bring it back together. So if we stop, we're going to bring the fingertips together as if we're holding a ball. And on the inhale, grow that ball, open. And then exhale, bring it back together where the fingertips almost touch. See if you notice feeling any energy in. Inhale, expand. And exhale, bring it back together. Inhale, expand. And exhale, bring it back together. We're going to turn those palms toward the heart, placing our hands over our heart center, pressing that energy, that love, light, joy, and gratitude into our heart space. If you haven't already, you can close your eyes now. And visualize the green light expanding from the heart. Feel the energy flowing through your body. That green light will start expanding from the heart space into the room around you. Notice it growing, expanding. Then that light grows through the entire house or building that you're in. And it continues to expand across your city, across your state, and then it wraps around the entire world. Just taking this moment to remind ourselves that we are full of love and high vibration. What we bring out into the world really does change the frequency around us. Our words, our actions impact not only ourselves, but everyone and everything. So using this as a gentle reminder to find moments of gratitude, moments of love, sharing those wherever possible. Get one more deep inhale. Notice the chest expanding and letting that out, maybe through the mouth. One more inhale, deep. Exhale through the mouth. This next one, we're going to bring our hands together at heart center. Same with the opposite direction, that's okay. We're going to inhale, both arms are going to come up, our hands are together overhead, and then palms are going to expand outward as we come down, expanding, expanding, expanding our green light, expanding, expanding, expanding. Let's do that one more time. Bringing palms together, inhale, both arms come up, palms turn out, expanding, 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 love, expanding, 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 love. Bringing hands to heart center, I'd like to thank you for joining us today for our practice.
I'd like to thank you as well. This was fun, this was quick. We didn't do a whole lot, but I feel energetic. I've got a little bit of heat and sweat moving, so I'm now ready for the latter part of my day, and we thank you. Come check out the YouTube channel, same as Yoga Sesh on Instagram, Twisted Bliss Holistic Health.
My YouTube is Twisted Bliss 3345. It's a little bit tricky, but that's how you get to that.
3345, that's easy. Twisted Bliss 3345.
All right. Thank you.
Namaste.
Namaste.